themselves right back into the hunt.
That brings us to the question, when the districts came out, I was like, okay, Ryan's running district championships is going to come to an end. Coach Hennigan, I'm sure, will roast me for it. Feel free to do that when you come on the show. But, everybody's still been picking Ryan.
It's a great way to start off.
Yeah.
And, I mean, come on. You lose Spencer Sanders, you lose Gabe Douglas. You lose all those people. Now, yes, they got Drew Sanders and that a big added weapon on both sides of the ball. They do have a lot of receivers back. They did have a young defense. Everybody's still picking them to win the district. So I can definitely be swayed and probably already have. But, do y'all see them win another district title this year? Or
I know I'm the Ryan beat writer over there at the DRC, but yes, I do see them winning that district. And, no offense to anybody else in there. I really do think it comes down to them and Colleyville Heritage for that top spot. I really think that they're two of the better teams in that region.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so, we could be seeing a potential, playoff battle too, further on down the line, but
like the fourth round probably.
Yeah. But, which has been teased the last couple of years and it never actually happened because Heritage always bowed out,
right.
Around early. But yes, I do see them right up there. I learned a long time ago. I mean, I don't bet against Ryan. They're going into. They've had 3 straight seasons, 10-0 regular seasons. I'm not going to bet against them.
Hey, if you just stumbled across the show, you're scrolling Facebook, you're wondering, hey, what are these guys doing? This is the Denko Gridiron Show, broadcasting live from Denton, Texas. We're right off the town square.
Yeah,
we had to move locations from last year newspaper, Steve and Brady, because people found out where Boedeker was broadcasting from. Man, it got really crowded. A bunch of people would line up at the door to see him as he came in and stuff.
Pitchforks and
so we're kind of on the move. We're on the move, but
I felt it was unsafe. So
hey, we did get a comment in. It might be another fake Coach Walsh because it comes in as Amber Walsh.
Oh,
well, post this up here.
John Walsh does not have a Facebook.
Let's see it.
He lives vicariously through his wife.
Good to have you guys back on the air. Solid special guest right here. Dude wearing the cap owes me lunch. Coach Walsh.
How do you say?
Welcome to the show, Coach Walsh.
How do you leave Amber Walsh hanging on lunch?
Yeah, Coach Walsh has hijacked his wife's Facebook. And we do have, I think Coach Young usually slides in here too. Coach Young, if you're in here, give us a shout out. Coach Hennigan, some of the staff over at Denton Ryan.
I think
they pop in.
Billy Miller slides in every once in a while.
Billy Miller. You guys, hey, don't be bashful.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
If Billy Miller is watching, I just want to put a word out there again that, man, those cakes his wife makes are phenomenal. Yeah. So
you took care of us.
I'm going to pick Denton every week this week this year, just with the hope that I might get another one of those cakes.
Hey, Boedeker, that's a great point. I think he was the only guest that came on that brought us something.
Yes, big props for that too. I was impressed.
Coaches and guests, when you come on to the Denko Gridiron Show, it's okay to bring stuff.
That's a fellow Marcus High School alum right there.
That was the longest food segment I've ever seen.
I appreciated that.
Yeah,
I've ever seen on this show.
You just reminded me that we always had a food segment because I haven't done the show in a while. But yes, that was a quite extensive one, and I was a big fan of Billy Miller after that. Brady, I mean, what do you think about Ryan this year? I mean, obviously, it's not when I said that, it's not like I think they're going to miss the playoffs or even finish third. I just thought they might finish second.
Yeah,
maybe I'm an idiot. What do you think?
I think the defense is really, like Steve said, the defense is going to be something to be reckoned with again this season. They had so many young guys who got key time last year, and so many guys who ended up being all district players on that defense who are coming back. And then you add a guy like Drew Sanders, who's a Division I player at linebacker, and you have a guy like Billy Bowman going to play corner now, as Steve was telling me. Just there's so much top end talent that they have coming back defensively, and then a lot of those guys will go both ways on offense too. And when you have somebody like Imani Bailey back, who rushed for 1,200 yards, Kiori Hicks, I know a lot of people really like what he has to bring to the table, as a young running back. Billy Bowman will see time on offense. Trey Smith will see time on offense. You have a 1,000-yard receiver back in Jamarian Robertson. I think the pieces are there. I don't see them not winning a district championship again this season, especially when you factor in that, Colleyville Heritage lost the guy who was slated to be their starting quarterback in Drew Sanders.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to start over from scratch when you come into when they came into August.
Their secondary is basically their 4x1 that went to relay team that went to state last year. I just think they've got, you mentioned top end talent. They've got a lot of speed on that side of the ball too. And when you have speed, that's very important. And that's going to help you, down the road.
Yeah.
So,
hey, speaking of ESPN, that was a neat deal having ESPN at CH Collins last year. Any ESPN games that we know about? Or they usually book those a couple weeks in advance.
The Ryan Denton game, he reported on it, was a TXA
21. Yeah. Channel 21 will have Geyer, Alito, and Denton and Ryan. Yeah. And then the Argyle Stephenville game will be on a live look-in game on Fox Sports Southwest.
Right, I do want to throw in that ESPN game last year. Adam and I were there sitting side by side, and I just want to say,
give him a hug, Steve.
I just want to say, I want to just make sure everybody knows, ESPN used our stats.
Yeah, there you go.
They did.
There you go.
They relied on us.
Yeah, the lady was like,
"You guys do a great job."
Surely there's a stat keeper at this game, right?
They
like an
totally,
official UIL stat keeper.
The hardest working men in show business. I call you all that all the time.
Legit.
I know this is Texas high school football, and it's the biggest and baddest name there is. But no, there was not an official UIL stat keeper.
She said, "Well, She goes, who's the official stat guy?" I looked at her. We're like, "We are."
Yeah.
She goes, "Really?"
Was that about an hour before kickoff?
It was about 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty close. Wow. She used our stats, so
good stuff.
Spot on, by the way.
I was going to say, I'm sure they were perfect.
It's the best stats there ever were.
Perfect.
Moving on, let's talk about. Shoot, my mind just went blank. What's the district, guys? 5-6A? Yeah, 5-6A. We talked a little bit earlier about Geyer getting out of the Allen district and pretty much swapping Allen for South Lake Carroll.
Yeah.
But like we said, Allen is a different animal. South Lake Carroll is going to be very good this year, and I don't know how Allen's going to be this year. I mean, they're always going to be good. I don't know if this is going to be one of their best teams.
Yeah, plenty of horses.
They're probably paid to be in the state championship game at least again. Yeah. What do you think that swap is? I mean, it's definitely not even. Is that going to be a lot easier road now for Geyer to win district title?
I feel like, putting South Lake Carroll in there is something definitely that benefits Geyer because, like you said, it's not an even swap. They're more on an even playing field with South Lake Carroll, and they've also beaten South Lake Carroll before. So it's at their own stadium,
which four teams have done, including Geyer ever. So Geyer's trying to become the first team to ever win at Dragon Stadium twice. Right. So that'll be something to watch this year.
Yeah.
You're basically
that would be a good ESPN game. What do you think?
He's basically regurgitating what I think John Walsh is sitting at home watching right now.
He's writing it all down.
He's saying it right now. Yeah. He's mouthing it, and it's coming out of his
He's just like in a catatonic state. Only two teams have been in South Lake Carroll. It's like a Beautiful Mind or something. But,
yes.
No,
there you go. Good stuff. Only here, right here.
It has to be those two teams vying for the district title. I don't think anyone else is in that conversation. Yeah. I say that. Byron Nelson knocked Geyer out of the playoffs last year.
They did.
Keller Central has had Geyer's number historically for whatever reason. Props to Coach Helsley, another former Marcus Marauder football coach when I was in high school. He knows something about Geyer because he always gives them a game, and a lot of times he beats them. So it's not going to be an absolute cakewalk for Geyer, but I think overall this district is easier top to bottom than the old one was.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, it'll probably be South Lake Carroll and Geyer at the top. And, just like it was expected to be Allen and Geyer at the top, of the last district. So that part hasn't changed. But going down the list, I think it is. You do have the Keller schools who will put up a bit of a fight, every now and then, and especially with Central, like you said. The Nelson game will be exciting this year because I know a lot of the Geyer kids are waiting for their shot at revenge in that game, and it's senior night. So
that was just have to say. I mean, I know Coach Walsh is watching, and I'm sorry, but I mean that was, and I've told him this. That was probably the upset of the Texas high school football playoffs last year.
Yeah,
at least the first round.
Yeah,
in the whole state,
definitely in the first round. Yeah,
I mean it was shocking.
It was shocking. There a lot of things just didn't go Geyer's way. I mean, things just kind of – it was Byron Nelson's night is the easiest way to put that game.
Right. They always say, coaches will tell you any given Friday you can get beat, and everybody rolls their eyes and says, But on that night, I think it truly happened.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. That was. I mean, I hit on everything in that district. But I think the biggest thing is the Geyer kids know they can beat South Lake Carroll. They've done it before, and I think they're looking forward to that opportunity this year.
What do you think about that? I mean, it's like you said. I think everyone is pretty much of the opinion that it's between those two teams.
I think so too. What I would like to see, and this is just kind of my analysis here, my 2-bit analysis. I'd love to see what Eli Stowers is going to do in terms of throwing the football. I know that Geyer is pound it out, run the ball, and man, I mean, Kendrick Cobbs is amazing. How many? I mean, he rushed for
1362,
25 touchdowns.
I mean, amazing workhorse in the backfield.
Yeah.
If they have the ability to throw the ball and spread it out, they're going to be a dangerous football.
Yeah, we were talking at dinner. They've got a lot more receivers to throw to this year.
They've got 5 guys at receiver that they're confident can step in. Seth Meadors, obviously, he's the top end guy, but they have 5 guys who they feel like they can rotate it. Obviously, Geyer's not a team that's going to go 5 wide too often, but they're confident enough in the guys that they have and in the quarterback with Eli Stowers that they can go 3 receiver, 4 receiver sets and throw the ball around a lot more this year than they did last year.
Yeah, I think that's going to pay huge dividends late in the season when you've got somebody like Cobbs in the backfield, when you can keep his legs healthy, keep him injury free. That's going to bode well when you start facing those big programs in the second, third round. If you can make it that far.
Everyone knew it last year and knew it the year before that in order to make a deep, a real deep playoff run, you had to be able to throw the ball. And even 2 years ago when they had Noah Keane, they had Cedar Hill beaten in the second round, and they just let it slip away. After that, the road was clear for a run to about the 4th round or so, and then it would have gotten a toss-up. But I think everyone looking back now kind of knows that they just couldn't throw the ball the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, is Noah back at IMG, or did he transfer back to the Metroplex?
He is at IMG.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw him at when I was at the Star. There's that new workout center this summer, and he was there. I thought that was like, I wonder where he was.
Were y'all working out together, Boedeker?
Yeah. I was showing him how to do some power cleans, but it seems like now though, at least the prevailing thought around Geyer is that with Eli Stowers at quarterback and the weapons they have, specifically Seth Meador, he's such a dynamic player, and they obviously have Cobbs back there to keep defenses honest.
Yeah.
Do you get the feeling they're going to be able to throw the ball a lot more this year?
Yeah,
and have more success.
I think a good sign of that was the success that they had in 7-on-7. They made it to the state tournament and made a lot of noise at the state tournament. And Eli looked really good there. I think that was the first time you really got to see him throw the ball. He didn't get to show a lot in the spring game because they didn't install the whole offense at that point, and obviously he can't run in the spring game, and that's a big part of his game too. But there were the connection that Eli had with Seth. Coming up, they had a last-second touchdown in the end zone. From 40 yards out. That in that moment you could kind of tell that there's a connection there, and that Geyer is going to be able to throw the ball better. And he really had a connection with everybody down there, and was able to kind of show what they'll be able to do in the passing game this season.
And they moved Trace Jewell. He'll be the backup quarterback, but a big presence at safety. Help Coach Ramsey there on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Trace Jewell looks good at safety too. He's a real athletic kid who can.
Props to that kid too. For lots of kids in his situation would have moved. And, knowing John Walsh, he would have let him. He wouldn't have. Yeah. There would have been no checks on the PAPF form or whatever. I mean, he would have been able to go somewhere else and probably be a varsity quarterback.
Yeah.
But he wanted to stick around, and there's something to be said for that, because lots of kids do that nowadays. If you don't win the job, then you're gone. It's kind of turned into college football, and
it's about the team, not the individual. But most kids would just move on, like you said, Boedeker.
I think Trace does have the ability to play, be a good safety in that on that back end next to Brent Jackson.
He has the size for sure.
He has the size, and he had good ball skills down. I'm going to 7-on-7 a lot. I know you can't really take that into football season too much, but he came up with a couple big interceptions.
I hate 7-on-7.
Yeah, but